Hey guys, gals, binary pals, whatever the hell. Welcome to
Binary.
a.
What is binary?
I meant to say non-binary pals. Guys, gals, the non-binary pals, the ladies and germs, the whatever the intro is gonna be anymore. I don't even know. Welcome to a very late night episode of Cult of Comics. All hail. We're here today with our usuals. We got Josh, we got Sean, and we're doing a quick episode about the latest episode of WandaVision. I'm not going to actually say anything first because the guys, my boys here, ended up being the ones seeing it before me. So I feel like they might have been having some discussion before I even got the chance to hop on this episode. But
You,
holy fuck, this episode, guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
you had about the same reaction we all had.
Do you guys remember in 21 Jump Street what the name of the drug is?
What the name of the drug is?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, 22 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street.
No, I don't remember why.
Not 22.
Oh,
21.
no, the first one. What?
Yeah.
Why? What was the name of the drug?
It was HFS. And
Holy
this
fucking
episode,
shit!
yeah, this episode should have been called HFS
Oh.
because holy fucking shit.
Oh,
Seriously though, I'm not
I
even
only
joking.
remember 22.
Like I'm when it happened, you see the episode. We'll get into spoilers in a second because like obviously this is gonna be a spoiler episode. But you get to that part at the very end where you see the back of the head and you're just like, oh wow, okay. And then and I was just like yes. And I seriously I felt like a guy at like a
man.
Super Bowl
Let's-
game.
Out of all of
I-
the different guesses that I made, one of them was correct.
I don't know
I
where
think-
you.
Predicted that all
I
of my wild
think
guesses,
we should-
one would be right.
I think we should digest some of the previous bits in the episode before we get to the big reveal at the end. Because this was
Okay.
like there was a lot in this episode to digest.
There
All
was
right.
a lot to break down.
So
I
we-
will say
we-
absolutely.
We'll start at the very beginning. It's
Okay.
a very good place to start.
So just as a heads up, guys, like we said, this is an episode about the latest episode of WandaVision. Don't watch this episode if you haven't seen it. If you haven't watched it, pause this right now. Come join us again, because this is just like I'm so fucking hyped. You have no idea. All right, so straight at the beginning, the episode drops us in to the 1980s with a very kind of a silly beginning. It's Wanda and Vision. They're hanging out in the house. They're trying to get the kids to go to sleep. And then I can never remember her name. What's her name? The neighbor.
Agnes.
Agnes.
Agnes pops through the door. She's got the big old curls going on. She's got her leggings on. She's doing jazzercise or
The
something.
leg warmers.
Yeah, the leg warmers and everything. They're having a hard time putting the kids down. And I think they said that you're a parent. You probably had a more relatable like moment with that. You're like, oh fuck yeah, I know what that's like.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Infant's got sleep regression right now, so he keeps us up at night.
Ugh.
Yeah. Josh goes to these shows to try and get away from real life, and he was just having like PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah. I look exactly like this, button-up shirt, got my belt on and my jeans.
I really liked that beginning song also. Like I don't want to admit how much I actually enjoyed it, but it actually like made me feel it gave me feels.
I think I think we're jumping ahead just a little bit because we have this whole Agnes breaking character bit.
yeah,
this
please go
was-
into that.
Yeah, so Agnes like says, "Let me take care of the kids," and then Vision gets real freaked out about it. He keeps, asking all sorts of things till it gets to, when was the last time you washed your hands? And Agnes is like, I can do that again. You want to do another take? And
So should we take it from the top?
yeah,
Yeah,
And she's turning to
because
Sorry?
Vision like was really not wanting her to do it, and she wasn't ready for that resistance, I guess. Like she was expecting him to go along with it. So he seemed to have gone off script to what she was expecting.
Oh, I thought that it was that Wanda was like supposed to interrupt her, like she had a line or something assigned to her, and then Wanda just forgot her line or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
I thought it was because Vision was questioning it as well. Because
Okay.
Wanda was like, "No, you can take care of the kids. That's fine." And then she sort of went back to normal.
Yeah.
That was
It was
really
like-
strange. So
It was strange her fighting back and like Vision being confused, and Wanda's like, "Oh no, like she just like Wanda was getting like really sort of defensive and like trying to come up with an excuse.
Yeah. Keep going. Let's talk. Let's just keep going in order for right now, because then
All
we
right.
can break.
The kid, Agnes is doing all sorts of crazy things around the babies, and then everything goes quiet. They check the cribs. Babies aren't there, and they've aged up to like 5.
Yeah, like
5-year-olds.
5 or something. Yeah.
They do the weird twins thing. They're right behind you.
Yeah, that was a little creepy. That was a little strange, but it
And
was
then
also.
we get the. Sorry, go on.
No, all I was gonna say was it was just a really big surprise because I mean you knew that the kids were. I mean, she was pregnant for all of a day, and then she gave birth to them. So I guess it's not that big of a surprise. That's all I was gonna say. Continue, Sean.
Well, they say we haven't had these kids sleep in days, but like they're only days old. So
they're literally only born. Yeah, they're only born hours ago.
Well, they say days in the sense of a TV show, but like they literally say these kids haven't slept in days.
No, yeah, we remember that. I mean, There was also the
but it's
point.
Yeah.
There is a point, if you remember, later on in the episode where they refer to it being air quotes Saturday. You know what I mean? That was the thing.
Well, I mean, each episode is still condensed to a half hour. So for them, they could have watched 10 episodes or something.
Yeah,
between.
This was actually a longer episode than we've had before, I think.
It
was 41 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, because there's like a 7-minute long.
38 minutes, including credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
credits were 4 minutes, so the episode in whole was about 34 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, the end is at about almost exactly at 34 minutes is where the episode ends and we go to credits.
Right. This is the thing. Before we go any further, hang on. Before we go further, I want to say this really quick. Agnes having awareness kind of caught me off guard because
that's something I want to get into a bit later on.
They had awareness character 2 episodes ago.
Well, yes, but okay. Well, Sean wants to get into it later, so okay, yeah, we can keep going.
They've been given like personas inside the TV show, but they also know they're actors is part of the persona,
which is strange. But
I'm going to give you a persona, but you're going to play a character. You're not going to be your original self, though.
Yeah. Continuing from there, there's that whole moment where Vision is recognizing that something weird's gone on when Wanda's trying to pass it off and try to continue and then say like, oh, well, no, nothing's going on. It's just Agnes being strange. And Agnes is watching these kids transition from like toddlers to 5-year-olds. And it's just like drinking and like completely being casual. So she's fully obviously aware of what's happening.
She's got like a moment of wisdom after the kids age up. Like, here's your little nugget of wisdom for this part of the episode.
Yeah. And then that must have been the intro credits point.
Yeah, that's just what I wanted to mention is I'm going to be having nightmares about baby Vision. It is horrifying. I laughed out loud at that. It was it was horrifying.
Have you noticed how it's becoming slightly less funny as time is going on? Like I feel like they've really like selected what parts they want to be.
It gets more serious.
Comedy. Yeah, and gradually get more serious as time progresses onwards.
There's no real catchphrase either.
This one especially had a lot of tension in it, I've noticed. I feel like... Okay, so if I remember correctly with the intro that happened... Love that song, by the way. They go into Vision... No, they go into the kitchen. No. At what point is it where Vision's in the office and he's at work? Is that like right after the credits?
No, after the credits, it's...
We go into the real world for a while.
Right.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. I was not expecting us to go straight back into the real world. But about half of this episode takes place it continues the story from the last episode where it is because of the people reacting to what's going on.
So we got credits, real world, dog, more real world. Then we get to the office.
Yeah, before we go to the office, I want to mention when we're in the real world, a scene we get is Wanda storming into Sword to rescue Vision's body that they have and they are dissecting.
Yes.
Yeah. Even that was a weird scene.
That was weird.
Another thing from the credits is that they have the moments in the park and they have the pictures, but some of the scenes that are intercut are from the episode. Like they reuse some of the scenes that we're going to see we're going to see or in this episode.
And as well, one of the
Usually
pictures.
You show cuts from other episodes. I don't know if there's really anything like that in here.
One of the pictures we see is her with the children on my birthday, where they got like 5 birthday candles in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we just did it all today.
Yeah. Yeah, we got all 5 years of birthdays done with today.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's I went through all the different intros for a lot of the 80s shows, and I didn't really see one where they colored a painting, but the picture progression stuff seems to be from like Roseanne or Growing Pains.
It seemed unique. I feel like they didn't. It was it had 80s feels to it, but I don't think it was modeled after anything.
I think I remember it from something. I don't know.
Well, the painting part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was the whole, showing the name of the TV series is WandaVision, and then the eye has the second eye in Vision has the electric bolts, and then it made me realize that I don't know why I hadn't thought of this before, but there's other TV shows that do like something Vision, like instead of being television, it's can't even think of a good.
No, I know what you're saying though, but that was a really good.
They might have done that for like Family Matters and had like Urkel Vision or something like that. But we're so used to seeing Wanda and Vision, I completely forgot about the whole like television, whatever.
No, that's a good call out. Yeah. I actually would not have made that connection if you hadn't vocalized that. I was kind of confused why, even after there was the declaration that Wanda is clearly manipulating reality, when we're back in the real world and Monica Rambeau is shooting at her clothes and the Kevlar makes it like stop.
Yeah, because Wanda's power, like the barrier around the town, when you cross it, what you're wearing adapts to fit the time period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact phrase they used, but like
no, it's I mean that's pretty much what she had said initially. It's just, but the thing is, like, that is recognizing that she is manipulating realities, but they're still kind of referring to her as a telepath, and that's not necessarily true at this point.
Telepath and
psychokinetic.
So she can move objects around, but not only move them at a macro level, but at a microscopic level, rearrange, the atoms or whatnot.
Do we think that the head of sword is the bad guy in this? Because I feel like with this...
I love that cut where I'm not afraid to say bad things. And then he says terrorist.
Yeah.
This leads me into some theories I want to. Yeah, I've got some theories I want to get into at the end, because on one hand, I think he is just doing sort of Nick Fury thing where he might be going too far, but he's doing it for the right reasons.
Mm.
Yeah. Like Nick Fury still had like all the Hydra weapons and stuff that he was experimenting on for the greater good. He had in Winter Soldier, he had the helicarriers that could assassinate people from hundreds of miles away.
Yeah,
and I think he might be doing the wrong things, maybe, but for the right reason, for the greater good. To quote Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, but Darcy says then Wu says, I'm not going to speak ill of people. And then Darcy says, then allow me. Hayward's, and then Hayward says, terrorist.
Darcy's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's an incredible character.
It's good that they're recognizing, and acknowledging Wanda's abilities. And it was interesting that they even called out that she doesn't have her alias. She's not being called the Scarlet Witch by anything.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, they never really said anything in any of the previous films that she had that name. They just called her Wanda Maximoff and everything.
Is that because Fox owned the name Scarlet Witch?
Yes, at the time. That's
that's
absolutely.
I mean, Tony Stark gave everybody a nickname of some sort.
Yeah, I think he called her.
Sure, he would have given her a designation at some point.
I there was a comment that somebody had made online that I don't really believe a whole lot of everything that everybody says when it comes to this stuff. But I mean, this episode makes me think of this comment that says that this guy from the Head of Sword might be based off of a character from the comics who was known to be villainous at some point. But I can't remember what the character was. All I remember is that he was a former member of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he lost control or something. I think it might be tied to Baron Zemos or something, but that might not be correct. I feel like this episode is compensating for the way I had felt about the revelations in the previous episode, where I liked the last episode, but this one felt like it was still maintaining the tones without foregoing the storytelling experience and letting and having that revelation.
We moved forward a decade this episode. We didn't do that last.
Did you notice the part where Agnes says, because she finds the dog dead in the bush, you can do that when the kids suggest that she can like try to like bring the dog back?
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I wanted to say that is not just because it's foreshadowing what happens at the end of the episode, but also because I'm thinking, well, are the kids aware of Vision? Because he's
it sounds like, they could be also talking about Vision at the same time.
Yeah.
And then he pops in. It seems like, one of those, we're talking about two things at the same time sort of situation.
Yeah. Sean, before we get to the end of the episode, I think that we should talk about the thing that you wanted to mention with Agnes having like presence, whereas some of the other characters don't. For example,
get a scene in
the office,
Vision's office.
Norm,
mm-hmm. Where Norm is going about his normal like, oh, haha, like I'm a sitcom character kind of thing,
mm-hmm.
and they are setting up for computers because it's the 80s. The office is getting these brand spanking new
Commodore 64.
Cutting edge technology. And they intercept an email from, it was either to Darcy or from Darcy.
Yeah.
But it sort of follows on. Yeah. So it sort of follows on the idea from the previous episode where they talk to Wanda through the radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In this, an email gets intercepted. And
I'm not sure that was intentional on Darcy or Sword's side.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to see what it says.
Yeah.
Well, it was a big list of whatever the email was, relaying some information, but everybody's, for somehow, I don't know why, they all started reading it aloud and saying it in like this very like hive mind mentality.
Yeah.
Which was
Dr. Darcy Lewis's findings regarding Maximoff anomaly.
Yeah.
Please advise. So yeah, it seems like they just intercepted a generic email.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Vision sort of snaps, like he sees like stuff going weird and he delves into the mind of Norm. And Norm snaps out of it and starts begging for help. And I can't remember exactly. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what Norm says, but he's like, she's controlling it all.
He suggests he says she mostly that he's got a dad who's sick and he hasn't talked to his kids. Yeah. How many days has it been?
He says, I have to call my sister.
My own thoughts. Yeah, my sister. That's what it is. Thank you. He's just kind of calling these things out. He's like, please help me. I don't know what's going on. She's in my mind. I can't control my own
You
thoughts.
have to stop her. She's in my head.
Yeah. And I don't know how, but he's doing the same zappy thing that he was doing to the computers, which I thought was interesting because I'm thinking that has to do with his phasing ability. I don't know.
He's powered from the Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone, yeah.
But it's gone. He doesn't have it anymore. It was ripped out of his goddamn head.
He's still got some sort of power.
Yeah.
But it's similar to the Mind Stone where, Loki touched people with the scepter and, put them under his control and, a shock or, knocking somebody out reset their brain for at least a portion of time.
Mm.
But yeah, so Agnes or Norm was under control by Wanda.
Yeah.
Whereas Agnes is aware she's in a sitcom.
She's
seemed to be aware in episode 3.
He was, absolutely. And
who was, sorry?
Even responded to Herb.
Yeah.
He's the one with the afro and the goatee.
Yeah.
And he was cutting through the block. That was interesting because that means that there is a very specific select amount of people that are participating that don't know they're unwilling participants. And there are others who are saying, I'm an unwilling participant, but I still have a presence on my own mind.
I'm not sure they're exactly willing participants. I think they're
unwilling participants.
I think they're, their real world, mind has been overwritten and they're basically said, you're an actor, you're in the TV show, you're going to play your part. Go ahead and play your part kind of thing.
No. I'm suggesting that they're all unwilling participants, but I'm saying that there's ones who are aware of it and those that are not.
I'm kind of thinking Agnes might be manipulating Wanda.
I don't think so. She's too scared of him. If that's a lead up to a point where she ends up being the big bad, that's like the secret imposter, that might be something there, but I don't think so, especially with the ending.
I've seen that theory thrown out there that she might be like, what was it, like Agatha Harkness?
That's a theory out there? Agatha Harkness?
Yeah.
I've seen a theory she's Mephisto.
There's a lot of Mephisto. I don't believe
they're trying to ham-fist Mephisto in there.
They really are.
Yeah, this week as well, I've seen theories that Mephisto's going to be involved in Spider-Man 3 as well. Just what that movie needs. Another character.
Well, at least with
Spider-Man, there is
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe rewind just a little bit to the Wanda break into Sword. So they're saying at this point, 9 days ago, Wanda broke into Sword. They've been here at this spot for 4, maybe 5 days.
Yeah, I would
5
say
days
so.
At the max. And so, what? Captain Rambo comes in and, oh, hey, Wanda was just here like 3 or 4 days ago and broke in. No biggie.
Okay,
when she visits
I'm changing my mind. I think that it's the possibility for her to be Agatha Harkness. I'm totally open to that.
I do not know who Agatha Harkness is.
No, I do. It's just like I had to remember the sequence where she like goes and interacts with Scarlet Witch and the kids.
Oh yeah, she was mentioned in Disassembled, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
And then in the episode 2 opening, there was the poster for Auntie A, something, whatever, at the supermarket for the I Dream of Jeannie Bewitched opening.
I do remember that. I just
maybe it's a contender.
Shit! Oh my god, I'm stupid. The Halloween episode that's coming up, she's dressed up as a witch. Oh my god, yeah, that would totally make sense. Well, the only thing missing would be a black cat. Then we got like a full confirmation at this point. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it was basically like Wanda was there 3 or 4 days before Monica Rambeau shows up. And it seems kind of weird, like nobody there is like on higher alert or anything. Everything's just kind of business as normal. Not, oh, hey, one of the Avengers broke in here like a couple days ago. And she even had to like break in. She wasn't just allowed in. Like, hey, Avenger, welcome to Sword. Why don't we just show you this way? Would you like a coffee?
Wait a minute.
I think it's.
I think I see what you're saying here. I feel no. You know what? Go ahead. Let me see if I'm correct here. Go ahead.
Anyway, no, I was getting on to her taking Vision's body, and no one wanted him to, use his body as a weapon. But Sword has his body, and it looks like they're working on it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. I think it's a switch around.
Weird,
I think that they're trying to characterize Wanda as being the one who was trying to, air quotes, weaponize his body, when in actuality they were trying to do that to his body. Yeah, you kind
of stole from the people that stole the body.
Absolutely.
It's been there for 5 years. They've had the body. It didn't get dusted.
Yeah.
Vision's body didn't get dusted, so they've had
half their Sword employees did get dusted. The whole organization was all thrown into disarray.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
What?
I don't know.
Well, because I'm trying to think of the timeline that they had said, okay, well, being allowed to share this video footage that happened 9 days ago where she broke in. Really, 9 days ago, and you didn't inform literally anybody else about this? I understand that it was like top priority secret, but that was the same fucking.
I don't know how you keep that under wraps.
How do you keep that under wraps? Also, Monica Rambeau wasn't gone that long, was she? Because when she walked through the doors of Sword before she went to the place, I mean, the town was already under when she was assigned to go find the missing people.
Yeah.
The timeline doesn't make sense.
Wanda forms the town had to have formed the town right after that.
I think there's a 2-week gap between the unsnapping and Monica going back to Sword.
Yeah, it took Monica Rambeau 3 weeks to get back to Sword.
Right.
So it's been 3 weeks, and then, days before that, so like 2.5 weeks after the unsnapping, Wanda comes in the doors. And now here we are, 3.5, 4 weeks in, and this is the point we're at.
The sequence where Vision and Wanda are fighting was really tense to me, and I really liked that I actually felt the tensity of that argument that was happening. I felt it was a little cheesy that they did the thing where they were flying at each other.
We've got one big thing to address before we get to that plot point.
What's that?
Okay.
Well, Sword fly a drone into Westview.
Mm-hmm.
They established that whenever something enters, it's changed to match the time period, which is what happened to the helicopter. It's what happened to the Sword agent who changed into Beekeeper.
Yeah, and they mentioned that it was like an 80s drone.
Yeah, they use an 80s drone. They fly it in there, and what's the head of Sword's name?
Dickhead. That's all I remember.
Dickhead. Okay, yeah, Dickhead orders her to fire on Wanda and the kids. So Wanda fucking storms out of the force field to deliver their drone back.
Yeah.
Do you guys not want to discuss that?
What, the recognition that like she understands like that she has like cognizance about what's going on?
Yeah, and she fucking walked out there like a bad bitch.
That walked out. If it was her that walked out of the shield and not some, representation of herself or something.
Well, what I was going to
I don't know if you guys were listening, but she, goes back to using her old accent.
Yeah, I did notice that.
So the thing that I was going to suggest about the fight was that like right after they got done like floating and everything and they sit down on the couch, I mean, she even says, I don't really know what's caused this to happen. All I know is that this is occurring, but I wasn't the one who started this. That's what the thing I was going to bring up was that she is a big part of the reason why the reality has changed. And she has control over certain aspects of it. But she even has said, I don't control everybody's life. I don't control their mowing the lawn.
And they've been told to, act and go about your business. You'll play your part if we need you or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was going to say was she's only a partial manipulator for this series of events. And she obviously, like you had suggested, she recognizes that. And I mean, we kind of knew that from episode 3, that she was like, at least somewhat aware.
I don't know if she's saying as much as that.
Well, because when she goes out and confronts it, I mean, she even when she mentions to Vision, hey, like, this is our life. We have kids and a home. Like, isn't that enough? You don't want to be outside Westview. And he's like, I don't have any memories of before Westview. So does he just not remember even being an Avenger?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
His life started in episode 1.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. I would believe that.
Yeah, during that fight you mentioned, one thing I want to point out is Vision questions why there's no children in Westview.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tie this back to something mentioned earlier on in the episode, which is when Agnes says to them both, I think it was just after the kids grow up, she says, kids, you can't control them.
Oh, yeah.
So does this tie into why there are no kids? Because Wanda isn't able to control them as well, or whoever is controlling
them away, or what?
Yeah, they're being held in a basement somewhere. Don't know. Norm seems like a bit of a paedophile. Maybe they're in his basement.
Oh, man.
Whoa. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Want to happen. I kind of want them to bring in Wonder Man, like Simon Williams Wonder Man, into this. I think that he would be a good character to add into this. I don't know how they would do it, but I feel like that would be kind of like that would be really cool if they end up doing that.
Simon, okay. Is he?
Well, because he and Wanda have a really close connection in the Kurt Busiek comics, especially during that early parts of their like first 10 issues of that run of Avengers. And Wonder Man's history with the Avengers is actually really stimulating. He's a cool, powerful character. He ends up really being underutilized a lot. I don't really understand why that is. He was mostly popularized in the 90s, but...
Is he the one Neil Gaiman wrote, or was it Alan Moore? Someone?
No, you're thinking of Miracle Man.
Miracle Man, yes, I am.
Although
like
I will
early version of Hammer Industries.
So Simon Williams, Wonder Man, is a character who can transform himself into a specific type of energy itself, and it's one of the things. Yeah, ionic energy that makes him really powerful because it's such a specific energy signature. In some ways, it's no, I don't. Well, okay, no.
He's got relations to Baron Zemo, so maybe he'll come in.
Something's giving off the CRT radiation that they mentioned
That's what I was gonna say.
Like,
he steps out into the zone, like all of it turns into that like purple
BCMR.
Like, pinkish. Yeah, and he's an actor, which could probably tie to.
Okay, I'm making a prediction when we do the. Yes, save that point for when we talk about the next thing we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Or actually, just before we talk about the next thing, I just want to mention we get another advertisement for Lagos.
Yeah.
Kitchen paper towel.
Which, by the way, that was the
Civil War.
All the messes.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure because there was the accidents for big accidents. I thought that's what it was. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, are you guys ready?
Wonder Man was supposed to be played by Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I think they cut him.
They did because there was a costume of him. Yeah.
Okay.
He could return in the future.
Okay, shall we talk about
Wonder Woman in like a bigger role? You want to talk about the big scene at the end?
Yeah, let's talk about the big scene.
Do you think this was the cameo that Paul Bettany was referencing, or do you think we're gonna get a bigger thing?
No, there's 4 more episodes, my man. This is gonna get like.
You think there's gonna be a bigger cameo?
I'm gonna let you guys take this away, and then I'm gonna come in with my theory after you guys finish speaking.
Okay, so here's the thing that catches me off guard here, and here's a prediction that I'm making here. Because of what happened with this, I'm wondering if there's a second Wanda. Because Wanda opens the door after there's a knock. What do they get? Oh shit, it's Pietro. And you're like, oh, it's the back of the head, it's Pietro. And she's like, oh my god.
So they got Aaron Taylor Johnson to come back. They brought him back.
And you're like, not that big a deal. It's like, okay, that's gonna be the thing. And then it's a reveal, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's from the fucking X-Men movies, man.
It's Evan Peters, man.
I lost my mind. I seriously, I'm not joking. I just cheered.
Yeah, no one was around to hear me, so it didn't happen.
I stood up and I felt like Tom Cruise on Oprah Winfrey's couch. I was like, yeah! I was like, there's no way, man. And then it just like
they fucking did it.
I can't believe that they did that, man. Oh my
god. I'm angry he didn't say you didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
That would have been a really good one.
Okay,
I don't know why he's like a New York Italian gangster or something.
Yeah, they gave him a weird accent, but I mean, I remember in the movies he had a very slight accent. It seems more prominent here. I don't know why that is. So
now he's not 16 years old.
Well, he wasn't 16 years old before. He was like 20 or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, living in his mother's basement, he may as well be.
Yeah. But Sean, you want to make a point really quick? Go for it.
Yes, I'm going to make my theory.
Okay, go for it.
This isn't Pietro Maximoff. This is not Quicksilver.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be the case. I would fucking hate that. I would fucking hate it.
This is how Disney gets around it. They're like, you can't get this.
But they recognize him as Pietro.
Yeah.
But Kat Dennings is like, did they recast Pietro? I'm going to make a theory now. This is the person who was in Witness Protection that Jimmy Woo was looking for.
Oh.
And this could be Simon Williams, who is Wonder Man using his radiation. That fits your theory. That's not mine. So if it's wrong, then that doesn't count. But he is not Pietro. He has been manipulated into being Pietro, and this is just like a fun little Easter egg for the fans.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's
I
identify
think
this guy in the first 30 seconds of the next episode.
Yeah, I think this is just a fun little like, hey, he played Quicksilver on this. Now he's there.
That's great.
No,
he is who Jimmy Woo's looking for.
I would fucking hate that. I would fucking hate that because this is tied to the multiverse of madness. And I'm telling you this right now. If they fucking pull shit on me, and then they say, "Hey, by the way, here's that other guy who played Pietro. Here's the other Quicksilver. Bring him into this shit. Fuck you. We're not gonna actually bring those
ease it back in. This is how they ease in the X-Men. Like we're slowly just gonna,
but
off your actors.
Here's the thing: James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence have all said they're not coming back.
Yeah, of course they have. But
Hugh
they also
back.
No. That's not necessarily true. Hugh Jackman, in a conversation with somebody, has said that after referring to somebody else, he said, "I could come back and do a quick little thing."
Yeah.
I can be Wolverine one more
Okay,
time. It
but-
was relating it to
Hey,
James Bond.
for the right amount,
Yeah.
Anybody can.
But I think they're not going to bring back one or two cast members and then recast Professor X, Magneto, and everyone else.
I'm not saying that they're going to recast anything. I'm saying that they're going to say it's all canon. They're going to say all of the X-Men stuff is connected to the MCU. That's what I'm thinking they're going to say. That's what they're going to do. That's what it makes sense. They're doing it.
Just going to start
Spider-Man.
numbering the Earths and say this happened on Earth, whatever, and this we're on Earth. I mean, what's the designation for the MCU? That's like
1610, something like that.
Yeah, 1610.
Yeah, because the main Marvel is 616, right?
616, yeah.
Yeah.
I
am going to. Tyler, would you like to make a $5 bet that each of our theories are correct?
You have to pick one. I'll tell you what.
I bet we're both right.
We have to pick one more.
I'm betting $5 to you, my guy, and I will own up to it because I've paid you before, and I've owned up to
$5 on the wrong thing.
I will bet $5 that the X-Men, Foxmen movies are all tied to the MCU, and it's all canon. I think that's what they're going to do. Always has been. Gun.
Okay, and I get $5 if Evan Peters is the person Jimmy Woo's looking for.
If he's just another.
If he's not Pietro Maximoff.
If he's not Pietro Maximoff, I will absolutely give you $5.
Okay.
If they identify him as somebody else.
Yes.
They go, this guy is so and so.
But he walked through the door. He was wearing the outfit. He's got the hair. Why wouldn't they do that? Why would they cock tease us like that and then just rip that away from us? That's not their style.
How far along was the Fox merger during the production of this?
What about the Fox merger?
How far through was the Fox merger during production of this?
Already done.
Dude,
was it already done?
Was years ago. No, that was years ago, man.
It was only 2019.
Yeah,
no,
was
they started the purchase back in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
they've started doing this.
As far as the Disney lawyers said they could go without getting in trouble.
Maybe because Sony even has had a lot of discussions about what they're allowing to come through. This is where the law becomes very interesting because while the designation of rights is clarified under an umbrella, so for example, Green Goblin is not a character that you can just throw around inside of the MCU because it's tied to the Spider-Man universe, and the overarching umbrella of copyright with Spider-Man is tied with Green Goblin is tied to Spider-Man. So that's how they've been getting around some of these things. But when it comes to using air quotes permission for these characters, they have to follow specific rules. But here's where things get really, really tricky. Marvel already owned a lot of these characters, and because Marvel has the 616 where these characters interact with each other so much, you have to say, okay, well, the Skrulls are tied with the Fantastic Four. Magneto obviously is with the X-Men. But where is that line drawn, and how can we slip things under?
They both had, rights to Pietro Maximoff.
Exactly. So they didn't.
But now we're using their actor that they used for their mutant Pietro Maximoff.
That's what I'm saying.
Enhanced.
Because they totally could have just had Aaron Taylor Johnson and then just been like, yeah, obviously we're gonna get him back to play Pietro as risen from the dead. This was thought out. Everything about this season, about the show, has been thought out. They've said,
I agree, but I still think it's just like a fun little hey, we're gonna make you think this because the fans are going to think this, and then we're going to swear.
We got a whole week to figure this out.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening. I feel like that we're built. Look, think about it. Think about what's going to happen in the future. We got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We got Spider-Man 3 happening. They're both happening this next year.
Yeah.
I agree.
Coming out past them to have both happen. I wouldn't put it past them to say, okay, this time, Evan Peters as Pietro is, another citizen of Westview who is an actor.
Yeah.
But we're also going to see a version of him as, the actual Peter Maximoff. Because, he's Peter in the X-Men instead of Pietro.
Yeah. Okay, here's the other thing.
And
I'm going to make another prediction. Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse is going to be its own thing. And I think that they can totally make that be another universe thing that could be tied to Spider-Man 3. And the rest of the MCU for that regard, and just say, yeah, obviously it's all tied. And maybe they could even, how amazing would it fucking be if they could just be like, yeah, we're going to have those, like Tom Holland go be a cartoon character for a little bit in this Spider-Verse sequence, and then
just
come back.
One chunk of the Spider-Man movie is just them as cartoons.
Tell me that wouldn't be fucking baller.
It would really throw you for a loop. Yeah.
If that, I'm telling you this right now, I will stand up in the audience and I will just like applaud it if theaters.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Why?
The people that stand,
I bet you clapped when.
Holler.
I bet you clapped in Endgame when the portal started opening.
Yeah, I bet you were just shouting "E Bombay."
You know what? Here's the thing. Fuck you, first off. If you were in the movie theaters and you didn't scream when that fucking portal opened and all those people started charging, you're dead inside. If you didn't scream when Tony Stark was wearing the fucking glove.
I was crying, man.
In England, we're very reserved. We all sat there in silence.
Yeah, I know that's what you guys are doing.
It is tradition.
Yes.
I'm not even joking. I wasn't the one who started shouting. My entire audience that I was in the theater with, the entire audience screamed louder than the movie.
The couple sitting to my right, the guy just brought his girlfriend along for this 2.5-hour event, and she was just curled up in a ball, just on her phone the entire time. Just I don't give a shit about this movie.
Yeah, of course. I bet she felt really awkward being the only person who didn't scream the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
She was probably asleep. She woke up like startled because everyone's
white
screaming.
Guy in the back yelling "E Bombay."
You know what I liked about this episode too is they actually called out the fact that they recognized that Wanda is strong enough to have beaten Thanos, but did not.
And Monica was very salty when they mentioned Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's true. I think that has to do with the fact that Danvers dipped out for 20 years or so.
Haven't seen her again. She was here. She was my mom's friend, and then she's gone forever.
She ran out to the store for a pack of cigarettes, and I never saw her again.
She ran to Jupiter for some cigarettes.
Hey kid, it's been cool knowing you, but I gotta go get some smokes.
Hasn't aged a day.
I don't like that. I don't like that they made her ageless. That's a weird thing that they did to her. I don't like that.
Well, everyone's ageless except if you're immortal, you're ageless.
No. There's only one
Steve
person
Rogers
in the MCU.
Didn't age until he went back.
Paul Rudd.
Frozen in time.
Thank you. I was gonna say Paul Rudd is the only ageless one. If I age like him, I will be thankful to the gods.
Oh yeah. Okay. Here's my bet. Keanu Reeves is Mephisto.
Oh,
I'd be happy with that. They have said
I would actually like that.
Kevin Feige has said before he's been trying to find a way to get Keanu in the MCU.
They approach him.
They should have had Keanu play Morbius instead of Jared Leto.
Nah, I feel I'm a vampire.
Whoa.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Okay. Who do you guys in the lab when they were talking about infiltrating the barrier, getting inside the hex.
Mm-hmm.
The Scarlet Witch casts hex, and it's in a hexagon. Ha ha ha.
Ha 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 ha. You're thinking that they're building something, right?
They were just spitballing on what they could do. But damn it.
Yeah, I don't know what they could be building in that scene because we already have the sword satellite up there. We saw it at the end of Far From Home.
Yeah.
So it's not that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could be building towards more like different types of weaponry or something, but I mean, this seems, because you have it pulled up here. I'm gonna look at this really quick. You had this where you're like, okay, well, what do you think this must be? Because
yeah, it was a screen capture from episode 3 or 4.
Yeah,
episode 4.
Yeah.
What I was getting at is, who do you think the aerospace engineer that Monica Rambeau was gonna call up?
Oh,
because I know an aerospace engineer who'd be up for this challenge.
An aerospace engineer. That's a good question. I don't know who could be the aerospace engineer in that regard. What the fuck are they building there? That is strange. Aerospace engineer. Oh, somebody's already typed it. It's already one of the top results. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see here. So, no, that wouldn't make sense. Somebody suggested that it could be Forge from X-Men, but that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense right now. Although it is tied, possibly. I don't think so. It feels like a far stretch.
Reed Richards, Doctor Doom, Hank McCoy, Blue Marvel. Nah.
An aerospace engineer, though. I mean, I guess they could say that Mr. Fantastic would qualify as that.
Reed Richards.
Yeah.
He's just an all-around jack of all trades genius.
Well, but in specific, when
he specializes in everything.
In specific, his first appearance was like building the rocket ship, so that would not be too far-fetched. Blue Marvel.
That was one of the names I mentioned.
Yeah.
Was it already?
He did.
It was at the bottom of the article I read off.
Okay. Blue Marvel's a character that not a lot of people are aware of, but I don't really think that...
I do not know anything about Blue Marvel.
Blue Marvel is one of those characters that is a super genius. He's super powerful. He was on Al Ewing's The Ultimates. He's able to fight off... Bless you. Shit, what's his name? Hyperion. And I think he's even fought Sentry at one point. So he is really powerful, but he's one of those characters that I feel like when they were making him, they were like, let's make this guy ridiculously powerful. And I don't know. If I wanted a super powerful character, I would prefer Miss America.
He's a very new character.
His
first appearance was in 2008.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. If he does end up being in this, that would be kind of a good callback. Although it would be
maybe somebody else.
You know what? That might not be a bad connection to some of the Fantastic Four stuffs. So, in specific, he is a genius engineer and physicist, but nothing about him being an aerospace engineer. So, I mean, they could just change that around because it's, a show and they've changed so much already. But I don't know.
I am going to make a prediction for the end of this series.
Okay,
it's something we briefly mentioned on the previous discussion where we were talking about the cameo. But at the time, we speculated it could be Doctor Strange because it would lead into Multiverse Madness.
Sure.
But since we recorded that episode, Elizabeth Olsen then went on to further comment saying it's a Luke's spoilers for Mandalorian Season 2. I don't want to be a douchebag, although it's been out for like 2 months now, so if you haven't seen it, fuck you. Yeah, she said it is a Luke Skywalker level cameo.
It has to be Patrick Stewart. It has to be Xavier.
Magneto.
Maybe. Look, I'm just going to say this. Patrick Stewart has said...
I am Charles Xavier, and I am Eric Lyncher.
I'm your father.
Conversate.
No, I think Patrick Stewart's... I think he's done.
No, he said before, if they bring me back,
I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bell.
Oh, yeah, no bell. God, I love Patrick Stewart.
No, I think it's going to be Magneto.
I would. What if it's both?
It could be, but I don't think it's going to be Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen.
So here's the other thing: when they were making the last Phoenix movie, they had to interrupt it, and they changed the script. They changed the villain to
it's Onslaught.
Not. They had to change things around because they didn't want it to be too closely connected to what was going on with the MCU films, especially with the recent purchase and the merger of Fox with Disney. So I guess
it was all along. It was Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck was inside of us all along.
Hope not.
And that's the moral of the story.
And that is the moral of the story is don't let a duck with a corkscrew penis inside of you. Anyways,
we learned that lesson the hard way on this
Never again.
Never again. Hashtag never forget. Corkscrews. I would like it. If they do that, I wouldn't mind that. I'm just saying that the only thing that I would want them to change about the X-Men movies is that Scott Summers is actually a much deeper character than they gave him.
Yeah.
He did not have both ways, man. You can't.
He did not have any character development in the Bryan Singer.
He didn't have any character.
True. Very true.
He was just there. He's just like, I'm Cyclops, I'm dating Jean Grey, and I don't like Wolverine, and that's it.
That was... Yeah. He just sort of stood there brooding, looking at Logan. a lot.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me.
I didn't see Apocalypse or Dark Phoenix, so I can't comment on his character there.
I have fond memories of Apocalypse in theaters, even though it wasn't that good of a film. Dark Phoenix sucked.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched that one.
Here's the other thing. Days of Future Past has established that even when you make those time changes, there's different universes that are being created from those points. So if they follow along with that same mentality, they could use specific cast members from the past if they agree to the contracts, bring them back for minor roles here and there as appearances, because we already know that they've existed, and then recreate those other cast members for future films if they do decide that they want to do an X-Men film in the future. I mean, they obviously have been trying to figure out something going on with the New Mutants film, which apparently blows ass, and everybody is really upset about. And even the creators of the New Mutants comics has said, I don't really understand why they made these changes.
It's a shame because when I saw the trailer for it originally, when the first trailer came out, I was like, okay, an X-Men horror movie, I can get behind that. That would probably be quite cool.
Well,
and
it makes
then
sense
it came out and it was just critically destroyed. I didn't bother watching it. I have no interest in watching it. Yeah.
They withheld it for 3 years.
Yeah. And then they said, you know what would be a good time to release it?
During a
pandemic. We'll be the first to go. We will be the, sacrificial lamb to get everyone back in the theaters.
They were like, we're going to do reshoots. And then like 2 years later, Maisie Williams was doing an interview and she was like, yeah, I heard the same news as you, but they haven't actually contacted me about it yet.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird that they changed the things around that they did. They changed her character. They made Magic look badass, and I'm sure that she's still fucking badass in the film. They made the Brazilian character Cannonball, I think, or was it Sunspot? I can't remember.
Second one.
I didn't watch the movie.
Spoilers.
He's Brazilian, but they made him light-skinned, and I don't understand why. It's really weird. Then they made Wolfsbane, like, not really... like, they gave her the haircut, I guess, but, like, that's pretty much it.
Did it make her wolfy enough?
I mean, I'm looking at the pictures for Wolfsbane, and I mean, they kind of did.
Look how they butchered Our Lady.
It's just, they kind of made her have, like, the eyes and a little bit of the hair. I mean, they gave her the teeth, but, I mean, it just didn't... Lame. It's such a mess, because they really just... They could have done something really fucking cool with that. Especially because she's one of my favorite X-Men characters, actually. And Maisie Williams is a good actress.
The fangs.
Plus, they did the Demon Bear storyline, man. Are you kidding? Remind me, is Wolfsbane lesbian?
I have no idea. How would you expect to know that?
Because you read comic books.
My only exposure to X-Men is Jonathan Hickman's run, and I didn't read New Mutants. She was in like one issue of the main run.
I hate you.
I know.
No relationship with Cypher.
I don't know.
Elixir. Who's Elixir?
Well, regardless, I mean, I'm at this point now where I'm so invested in this series that I actually am just for it. Give it to me. Give it to me now. I want it all. I want it all. I want it now. That's where I'm at.
I appreciate the Queen reference.
God save the Queen. Is there anything else that we want to spout out? Any ideas? I know that you're in the middle of, or you just finished House of M.
I have finished it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
We will
Josh?
be doing an episode on this at some point. House of M Avengers Disassembled.
A lesbian in the movie.
Oh, you're still looking into that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Daniel Moonstar.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Again, we haven't watched the film, so. Yeah.
All three of us have not watched the movie.
No. Well, because I've heard so much about like.
I opted to see Tenet.
I'm sorry. That also was weird. That was a weird film.
It was probably the better choice.
Wait, did you guys see that it got nominated for
Best Sound? Yes.
Are you fucking shitting me?
If it wins, I will just lose my.
Who's its competition?
Who's it going
to compete with?
Respect for the Oscars.
Yeah. So in the future, we are going to be doing an episode on House of M, kind of covering what's going on with WandaVision and a little bit of Avengers Disassembled. Following House of M was the Civil War storyline, I believe. Yes, and then after
Sounds
that was
right.
Secret Invasion. But I don't think we need to go into Secret Invasion for WandaVision too much. I would be surprised if
Sooner than later.
Well, because the show's going to come out. I wonder if they're going to connect the shows, do you think? I mean, maybe.
Oh shit, I forgot about the Secret Invasion show. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
and it's going to be led by Nick Fury. It's going to be led by Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Food for thought. If that... No, I'm not gonna speculate too much more. But if they do bring in Wonder Man, I'm going to be very fucking pumped about that, because that would be cool. I've got no more predictions about this so far, but this conversation is like the most stimulation I've had since I had a conversation with somebody about House and Powers of X, and I'm just so hyped about this, man.
$5. $5.
$5.
Highlight
You
of
heard
the
it here
week.
first, folks. And on that note, give us a like, give us $1, so that
Give
way
us
I can pay
$5.
for it.
Cover the bet.
Exactly. Anything else you guys want to add before we call it good?
No, I think
Is it 4 a.m. for you right now, man?
nearly.
Almost.
Nearly.
God damn, we gotta get you out of here. What's wrong with you? How are you even awake?
I'm young. I'm full of energy and life.
You're full of
I'm
spite
bigger.
and cum. That's what you're full of.
Yeah.
Spum.
I hate you. I'm Sean. I'm full of spum.
Yum.
Yum, spum. And on that note, I'm gonna call
Jesus
it.
fucking Christ.
Thanks for listening, folks. Thanks for watching wherever you're watching this on, or for whatever you're listening on. You can follow us on Stitcher, Spotify, Breaker, or is it Breakist? I don't remember what those things are. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Give us a like, give us a follow, but most importantly, give us a share and give us $1, because I need money in order to pay off Sean for his yummy spum. And you can also find us on YouTube under the Monotone White Guys Productions, as well as Cult of Comics. And if you like what you hear, let us know. We want to hear you in the comments. We definitely want to hear some more participation with the audience in this. Thank you. And once again, this is brought to you by Anchor.fm. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for sponsoring us. You can find me on Twitter at TCHBrown. I'm getting rid of the Talking About Comics Twitter just entirely. It's gone. There's no point. I had 10 followers on there. It's not that big of a deal anyways. Josh?
Uh,
Are you going to give us your sweet, sweet secret email, social medias accounts?
yeah, I'll give you my live journal. I don't.
What's a live journal?
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Is that something from
What's your MySpace?
Oh no! God. You know what I got into the other day? Those teddy bear toys, those little like beanie babies that.
Oh yeah.
You used to be able. No, you used to be able to connect them to a social media page or something, and they
Oh, I have
used
no
to be...
idea.
Webkins?
Webkins. That's what it is, man. Yeah, we were talking about the other day. She had to explain what that was to me. I'm like, oh, you sweet, beautiful little.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Neopets.
Welcome to the Cult of Comics Neopets account. Loving it. Loving every minute of it. And
Well,
of
I don't
course,
have. I don't have.
My
Yeah,
pets
I don't
are
have
definitely-
Neopets, but
My pets are definitely dead on there. It's been well over a decade.
Dead
They
like
had like a
Sparky.
dragonfly of some sort.
Bring Sparky back. Hashtag bring Sparky back.
well, I'm afraid all I have is Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at SeanWalsh747.
You're sharing your Instagram like a butt slut, you spummy bastard. All right, well,
Rip
thank
Sparky.
you for Rep Sparky. Thanks again for listening. Thanks for following, and all hail. Thanks for
Good night.
coming on, guys. Take care.